area, I call it the living room, because this is where we can have some conversation. What we've done is we've had some snacks in the back, hopefully you had something, and I'm gonna ask you to stay with me, right? Because we gotta talk about school improvement, we gotta talk about some numbers, we gotta talk about what's going on in the district, and if the temptation is to glaze over your eyes and you start to drift, stay with us. I need you present in this moment. These are some things that we've been mulling over and looking at, and there's going to be a call to action before the end of this conversation. So I'm asking you, I gave handouts also so you can pay attention to exactly what we're going to be talking about. Before I begin, I do want to, my Board of Education, could you please stand? Let's give them a round of applause. Turn and face the audience, please. Aren't they beautiful? And Ms. Kyle is here from our Academic Distress Commission. Could you please stand as well? So the first thing we need to understand is, who are we, right? We are East Cleveland. What we've set out to do this year is try to be better than we've ever been before at who we are. We didn't want to change our identity. We didn't want to become another school district. We just wanted to get better. And sometimes people may say we want to go back to a time when we were thriving and we were having some high success. Everything we do, even the videos we try to do, we use lenses of graduates of Shaw, because I want us to be authentically East Cleveland. I don't want us to try to be anything else. So this is in your handout, and it may be small up there on the screen, but this is who we are. This is our population. It talks about the community. If you can't see it on the screen, look at the handout. You know, we have some population facts about our community, but in terms of our district enrollment, right now we're at about 1820. We're at about a plus 60, if you will, since the time this new administration, me as CEO, has come in. We're up just a little bit once you deduct out the graduates and you clean up the data. So we are seeing a trickle, just a trickle, Judge, of students starting to shift from walking away from East Cleveland to starting to consider us. So we started just a little bit, Dr. Wright. But that's very good. That's very positive news. I think us getting out there and getting in front of some issues has helped us with that. And Dennis Bunkley and the registration folks, because we moved the registration department, you can see the banners right outside the door, to try to make it easier for our families to get in, register, and feel supported. What we know in our district, and this is the family room, this is the living room. What we struggle with is communication in our school district, right? We throw it everywhere, but it doesn't stick. So we're struggling to build new communication vehicles because the ones that exist, they teeter out, or people just trickle in. But we pulled Zoom together because we didn't want principals sitting all day in a meeting and just sitting in a meeting just to meet, but we wanted them to be productive and in front of kids. So we put together the Zoom calls. You can talk, you can archive it, you can ask questions of directors, myself. We're all on there to make sure that we're moving forward from week to week. But then also you see there, I think in May, there's a point for the inaugural annual employee recognition ceremony. See, it's not enough to come into the school district and say, well, we got to fix some things and we got to recover and we got to teach better, and you have to celebrate the successes too. So what we said is, when we came in this year, is we said we're going to celebrate everybody. There was a teacher of the year, staff member of the year. We had a great banquet at a place in Euclid that I can't pronounce the name, and Tizano, thank you. And we had a great time just loving on each other as a staff, because this is going to be a lot of hard work, but equally as hard is making sure that we're supporting each other in this work. So we also then had a memorandum of understanding with the East Cleveland Teachers Union, because we knew our teachers needed professional development. It wasn't enough that we could just say, go do it, and do it better. We have to teach you how to do the things we're asking you to do. So we created an agreement with our teachers union to extend the contract to add professional development days, so that the teachers can get those days. And every 20 days, we do have a day dedicated for teachers learning by teachers on how to be better for our students. I'm happy to announce that on June 26th, the Academic Distress Commission approved our academic plan, which is in line with the listening tour, and we talked to everybody. We came up sitting on Ohio Department of Education's website. 97.3 of them have gone on to they're currently employed in the career of their choice. So our career tech is working, and kids are seeing success. Dr. Buckner, where are you? Come on, stand up, Dr. Buckner. Dr. Buckner, you know, he takes care of career tech and makes sure we're doing what we need to do. And much of that is attributed to what he has done with the staff, the teachers, and the students. So thank you, Dr. Buckner. But then also, we saw our participation go up in ACT. We saw a slight increase in graduation rate. All of our children seem to have gone from 4 through 6. They've had more than expected progress when it comes to that report card. And then also, which I'm hopeful of because the future tells you where you're going, 84.9% of the kindergarten readers were on track, according to the reading assessment. Kindergarten, you're on track, so then there's an accountability for us to keep that momentum going. So I want you to think about that. What are we doing as those children matriculate through our system? This is the report card performance index. What's the biggest letter on the screen, people? Yeah. If you ever owned a car that didn't perform that way, the vehicle we're riding in right now is sputtering down the road. Oh, you need some maintenance? That's what tonight is going to be about. What is the maintenance? The preventative maintenance, the restorative maintenance? What are we going to do as a school district to recover this vehicle and put it back to that fine automobile that we remember it used to be? At the end of the day, if that 55.3 don't get above 84.0, we won't get higher than a D on the report card. Okay. 55, 84. That's real simple to understand. We are underperforming in all of our classrooms. So what we've had to do is design a system that can begin to target classroom by classroom. Where is the underperformance happening? The Plain Dealer put this up, and they looked at out of the 608 or 611 school districts in the state of Ohio. According to Performance Index, performance is a topic. We were dead last in terms of how students perform in the classroom compared by these assessments. Attendance. This is how our babies are performing in attendance. I'm not satisfied. We're still getting too close to almost 10% of the students not being available for the classroom. So we are working with the Browns and Harvard Improving Ground, and we're doing some things differently and some attendance pop-up parties with the radio stations now, trying to get our students some more encouragement to get to school. But all of that is just smoke and mirrors. It's just filler. The thing that gets students to come to school is engaging instruction. It's the classroom. You know, I can have a bouncy house in front of the school every day. They'll still be late if once you get into school, it's not something that captures my interest. So this is the first 20-day cycle. We did a pre-test and we did a post-test. And we talked about performance index. But it's not enough about passing and failing. We have to link everything to performance index. We got to try to explain to children and adults and y'all, and how do we put it in manageable terms? Every assessment that we give, we calculate the performance index to determine if that assessment, that month, that 20 days of teaching, did something go wrong. And then the next 20-day cycle, we build in some interventions to try to help whatever went wrong that preceding 20-day cycle. Right, so this is the first 20 days. We know some areas that we've identified based on that formative assessment already, that we know where the kids are struggling. This is revolutionary when it comes to district-wide school improvement, where you can look out on the horizon, say, where are we struggling? And then, Dr. Gary, I need y'all to help us because we're dealing with mathematics at the elementary school. Is there anything the case can, or Provost Scott, can y'all help us, right? And not answer that. But those are the things that now we can have those conversations. If we don't get at least into the 60s by winter break across all of these assessments, we have to look at major interventions. We got to look at what can we do and what type of partners can we scale up to help us. Because in education, we now need to know where the trouble is before we get to it. We can't wait for the students to take the test, get the bad results, and then the clock has now run out, and we can't help them recover or get better. So now we have to forecast and we have to look throughout the entire school year. Where do our teachers struggle? Where do our students struggle? Where are those intersections? And that's where we start calling for help. Because if our teachers aren't doing well teaching it, and our students aren't doing well receiving it, let's not have that happen without something happening before. Does that make sense? We have to be focused. So we're going to focus through this signaling system. And it looks like this. We really building this out. I started with the high school to talk about where are those areas you guys are going to struggle. Well, now that you know that, what you going to do about it? So now we're saying, with Lori, we're talking to the teachers and saying, okay, what are those things? What really is going on? What is the issue? Why aren't they grasping this concept? And when they tell us things, we go try to get those things or solve those things. Professional development is near and dear to my heart. I am a teacher by trade. No other title fits me better than teacher. So we've been doing a lot of professional development with staff. One of the books that we've used, the black one, is Causing Others to Want Your Leadership. So what, you in charge? So they have to want your leadership where it don't work. That's right. And it's not about you, it's about the people you serve. And if they're not following you, then you're taking up space. You know, you're not doing what you need to do because folks need to be led. They don't need to be barked at. Right. Alice, Mr. Winston, Director of Safety and Security, please stand. He's been training all of our folks in Alice in terms of if they're active shooters, intruders, if something's going on in the building. He's training everybody on what to do, a proper procedure to handle that. He's very aggressive to make sure everybody in this district knows what to do in the event something terrible has happened. We also have Switch, that's when change is hard. That's a book that's real good. Applebee's America talks about customization. If we say students are volunteers, we can learn from Applebee's on how to customize. If you go to Applebee's, they always got things from that local community in them. They figured out a way to make people feel like they're at home. So there are some things we need to learn there too. That's another book that we're using pretty soon. All right, look at this stuff. I brought out some WD-40 and I gave everybody a little can of WD-40, all the administrators. Because we need WD-40 to get schools where they need to be. They rusty, you gotta get things moving. Right, WD-40, they make all their money by making sure everybody adheres to this pledge. It's the Maniac Pledge. Think about it in your own work environment or at home. If some folks employed some of these things, things would be different. Because in this district, we heard, oh, I sent the email. But did you get an answer? You know, it's all about your clients. So WD-40 says, you know, you got to take the answer. You got to not only do something, but you got to get responses too. You can't just hide behind a read receipt, right? You got to make sure that what we're talking about actually happens. And that's something that's different. And we all been running around not spraying each other, but metaphorically talking about WD-40. I said this, and the ADC picked this up and put it in my evaluation. But I said something where everyone has autonomy now, but every staff member has 100% accountability. It's time to do your job, but you're going to do your job with. There's the difference. It's not about micromanaging you. It's not about forcing you to do things outside of the framework. We really ask teachers and administrators to think about the process, and let's continue to learn from our mistakes and grow. That's what we have to do. We are not looking at how students historically perform and then designing the assessment and the classroom instruction to where they're weak. We just rolling out the same curriculum. We doing what we always used to do. If you know I'm gonna struggle with this, you know me, you know I'm gonna struggle. Is there something you could do before you give it to me? Is there something you heard about me or something you picked up that you can do or put into the lesson that when I see it, I don't know it's about me, and maybe that'll help me do this old lesson the teacher put in front of me, right? Data, knowing your kids, knowing what's their spark, and then also protecting them from the weaknesses that you know. We have a ton of data. Let's work together and come up with one plan. So now each grade level works off of one plan across 4 buildings. Communication, collaboration, that will yield results. All right? Special education, we have a corrective action plan in our district because of the way we've been handling individualized educational plans, special ed services. This is just telling you what we were doing and what we're now doing. We're starting to do co-teaching, all right? We're starting to expose our special ed students to more of the regular ed curriculum. Because in urban schools, I don't know why we do this everywhere. We take our special ed students, take them away from the regular ed curriculum, but then bring them back when they have to take the regular ed test. Of course they're not gonna pass that. That's silly. But that's what we do. And it's not, East Cleveland's everywhere. So let's stop doing that. So we're doing co-teaching, so there's more pushing in. Special ed teacher, regular ed teacher, work together, live in the same room sometimes. And that's not always easy. Getting two adults to work together for the good of the children is sometimes hard. All right, so let me talk about the district walkthrough. It's not enough to just test the kids. It's not enough to have meetings like this. We have to do walkthroughs. So I think we're about 250, we're over 250 walkthroughs that have been conducted since after the first week of school. That means over 250 classrooms, someone has gone in and assessed the classroom instruction in that classroom. 250 times that has happened in this district. If you have some ideas or get some contacts about elementary 2 through 5, all of the instruction. We need help with all of it. It's underperforming, and when you average it with everything else, it's dragging us down. Okay? Heritage also, we need some attention there because the 8th graders are starting to underperform, and we knew they underperformed when they were 7th graders. So there's one of those things, you know, it's something going on with us. What are you going to do this year? Because we didn't perform well last year. We're going to need some help with the 8th graders. And then at Shaw, you know, of course, math, and all over the place, math is a problem. But it's mentoring, I feel, at Shaw, 8th through 10th, it's tutoring, but mentoring too. Our students are getting lost. As that maturity thing starts to kick in, they get distracted by their friends and social media and desires of other people. And they really need some mentors at that level to keep them connected and plugged in to what's important. I think that's what we're seeing there. There's some more pictures there. You have those. I won't go through them. But we were down in Southern Ohio doing Johns Hopkins, and then 31 folks were hired to be teachers this year. Out of about 100 folks that wanted the job, we were able to hire 31 new teachers. Let's give a round of applause for that. Our partners. We have so many of them, and they're in your handout. We want to just continue to thank all of our partners. Tom Hanatech did this drawing for us. We're still on the road to recovery and revitalization. We still us. You can go to Facebook, you can go to Twitter. I like the YouTube channel. Because the reality show lives on the YouTube channel. And we have 6 episodes. A lot of people in this room are in the episodes. You see a camera over here, so you may be in the next episode. But really, the point of that was we wanted to show this Cleveland. Too many people had a false perception of who we are and what we're about. And they talk outside of their mouth, and they run their mouth about things they don't know about. They haven't come here. They've not crossed our city line if they have a lot to say. So the reality show and the YouTube is a way to say, no, here's East Cleveland. This is what we're doing. And hopefully that gives voice and language to some of us that maybe can't articulate what's going on in the school district. Point them to the YouTube channel. Point them to social media, Facebook. We'll explain it for you. Just get them to go in that direction.
I am the definition of success. I am East Cleveland at its best. I am East Cleveland at its best. I am the definition of success. I am East Cleveland at its best.